If you're constantly finding yourself in a position where your songs are half written, either you don't know or have forgotten the basic structure of songs. Obviously, all songs are not going to be the same, but most songs, especially the great ones, follow a structure that we can use. When you're lyrical songwriting, most songs are going to have some combination of a verse, a chorus, and maybe even a bridge. Another reason why your songs might be half written is if you are trying to do what I call forcing the flow. This basically means you're sitting there looking at your paper or sitting there with your instrument and you're trying to force the song to come out. Forcing the flow is almost like going up to your faucet in your sink and trying to pull the water out with your bare hands. It's just not possible, and there are easier ways to get the water to flow. And it's the same thing with songwriting. There are different strategies and techniques you can use in order to get yourself to be able to think more creatively and keep writing. Usually, when a song is half written, it means you've kind of abandoned it because either you don't have the right strategy or everything you've tried before isn't working, and so you kind of give up on that. But actually, with a little bit of technique and maybe even time, you could go back to that song and write it again. Most of the songs I've written have been written in this way. Usually, they would start out as either a melody or maybe even just words, a poem. And sometimes all I need is just to come back to the song later. One thing I've noticed is that when I write songs, they often change from when I first started writing it to how they ended. I might be feeling one way when I started writing the song and feeling another when I end it. And because songwriting is such a great tool for self-expression, you would want yourself to change. You would want to be able to move through the emotions when you're writing the song. And so what happens is, let's say you started off feeling sad when you wrote the song, but as you started getting the words out, maybe halfway through, you're not feeling sad anymore, and you don't necessarily know what to do with that because you no longer feel like writing a sad song, but maybe you had the beginnings of something good. It's just not where you're at that point. In that situation, what would be helpful is actually understanding how to transform those emotions or move the song through emotion. This is a style of songwriting that I teach called restorative songwriting. It's when you're able to take your emotions and move through them and start off one way, but then actually end the song in another way. Let's say you started a song and it was a love song and you were having good feelings, but then that relationship ends. Do you need to throw away the whole song? No, not necessarily. You can actually take what you have and transform that song into a more complex and probably a more beautiful song just because you've navigated different types of emotions. It'll probably be a more nuanced story for the song based on what you specifically are going through.